Hi, welcome to another Power Blast podcast. Today I'm going to talk about how going through a move has some similarities to losing weight and getting fit. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, Tinsley here, creator of the Power Blast podcast, and I'm a health and fitness coach, and we're going through a big move right now. I'm in an empty house. I've never seen this house empty. When I married Hillary, she already lived here, and we've been asked to, told that we need to move to one of the cities that she oversees. She works for Alaska Airlines, and so we're moving to Minneapolis, and we're prepping our house and getting ready for this big move. And you know, I think about some of the things. A couple podcasts ago, I gave you some tips that if you're ever going through a move, what are some tips to kind of keep the stress down, etc. So I almost created that for me because I'm going through a move, and there's an incredible amount of stress and anxiety and uncertainty and unknown, and man, it's been a challenge. But here's some things that as we go through this, and we haven't moved across yet, so there may be some other tips coming, or other similarities, things that I've considered and noticed. But some things, for instance, being totally patient with yourself. And I know that is really, really tough when you're going through a move, when you're working with different people, when you want things to happen just like that. It makes it a challenge, but and it's really easy to get down on yourself. And I caught myself a few times this week. There was there were a few projects that I wanted to do to make the house a little bit better because we're going to rent out our house, and it seemed like one project avalanched into multiple other projects. For those of you that know what I'm talking about, you can relate that right there. But I had to back away and just step back and feel what I was grateful for, because a lot of things went right during that day. And here's that one project that I just wanted everything to click right, and it didn't. But it taught me some other things. I learned some other stuff, like some painting skills. Some things. I was very frustrated with painting a siding that a neighbor of mine had oversprayed his staining of a fence years ago, and I had to paint it over, and it just didn't match up. So with the help of the Facebook communities, my friend Sandy Gomez and some local painters, I got to learn from that experience. But I was very, very frustrated. But so many cool things went on that day that I needed to take time back and just reflect. Now, another thing I love to practice is just some visualization. I follow the book, The Miracle Morning, by Hal Elrod. You need to go and get that book. And it will be a game changer on how you get through your day and make the most of your day. And so I do mindset visualization. I've added in deep breathing exercises, and that really helps calm things down. And so I think really self-care is a big part of it. I did get my exercise in, and I know it would have been really easy for me to say, oh, I was moving boxes all day, or I was doing yard work all day. And I did do that, but I also stayed true to my routine. So yeah, I might have been a little additionally sore, but I stayed true to my routine best I could. I may have needed to shorten some of the workout times, but I didn't want to have weeks and weeks go by without staying on track with some sort of strength and cardio and yoga. Oh my gosh, there's another one, yoga. We have a big bank in that of yoga workouts within the Beachbody On Demand. And I've been able to do lots of those. And not only is it calming and fills your body with energy, there's something that just helps with the limber, it just releases muscle tension and stuff like that from doing all the heavy moving of things like that. Now, the other thing that I think is really important is to kind of set yourself some deadlines or make lists. I started making lists, and the list seemed crazy overwhelming. That stressed me out right there. But as I was able to check things off and could see what are some things I can do now, because we were told, I think it was the beginning of May, that we needed to be moving by the end of May. That's not a big window of time. But by doing lists and just chipping away a little bit at a time, that can make a big difference. And when it comes to like health and fitness, I know a lot of times people feel overwhelmed when they have, I had a good 50, 60 pounds that I needed to lose, and that was a lot. Some people are up to, need 100 or more. It's just chipping away little bit at a time. One thing I learned from that 2B mindset is just focus on 2 pounds at a time. That's it. 2 pounds at a time. You do that, even whether it's a week or whether it takes you, a month. Just focus on the next 2 pounds. You go and do that, and you're gonna find that it starts to add up when you're chiseling away on that. Next thing you know, I'm seeing friends post, gosh, I'm now down 18 pounds. I'm now down 25 pounds. I'm now down 40 pounds in that time. But they're focusing on 2 pounds at a time. That's what I see happening when you're planning a move and needing to pack things up. Plan, so the things that we had to plan was movers, how we were going to get our things there, where we're going to do it ourselves, where we're going to hire somebody, where we decided to take a good chunk to storage and the rest to Minneapolis, so we needed to split that, so we needed to sort. We took advantage of the decluttering and donating and just downsizing sort of thing. And so there was another project that took incredible amount of time within this short window. But we just chipped away at it a little bit. We needed to find a rental agency who would take care of our property while we were gone. We needed to sign all those contracts. We needed to find a place to live in Minneapolis, and then jump through all those little research hoops and things that we needed to do. I needed to find just some other options along the way when it came to driving across country with our pets. So all those little things, plus how you're going to get the house cleaned, get the final, carpet cleaners in here, get people for the yard work set, there was just huge lists. And so I think chipping away a little bit at a time with those lists was very helpful. And when it comes to your weight loss and your health, it's just chipping away and just implementing little successful, healthy habits and just mini workouts, even if it's walking around the block every day, or if it's going for 3-mile run every day or 5-mile run, or if it's getting in a great workout from Beachbody On Demand, or even going to the gym. Just that every single day, being consistent and chipping away at it is going to be that 2 pounds every day, 2 pounds at a time, just to chip away at your list, to chip away at your goals to get there, because it can seem so overwhelming. So I think those are the biggest things that came to me. Patience. I still feel, as I'm recording this, I felt pretty... I like to get this podcast out once a week, and it was just one more thing that I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm going to have time for this. I'm not even sure what I'm going to talk about this week. And then I got to thinking, oh my gosh, I'm in the middle of this move. I'm really stressed out. I've got all these things going on, but I'm very proud that we've made things happen by the deadlines that we set. And if it wasn't for planning ahead and just chipping away a little bit at a time. So I'm like, oh my gosh, there's my podcast right there, because it's very similar to health and weight loss, to health and fitness and weight loss. That's your thing. Or even if you're looking to bulk up, stuff takes time, and you just got to plan ahead and just chip away at it, and just put yourself first and find time for you, and really, really do self-care. So anyway, I so appreciate you. Hopefully you stuck with this babble. If you're listening in the car, be careful there. But thanks for tuning in. I so appreciate all of you for sharing this podcast. If you find somebody that you think this might benefit, pass it along and share it on social, or just comment below. Maybe you have some other tips that maybe you've gone through a move and you're like, oh yeah, here's a similarity that way. So you can message me, perrytinsley@gmail.com. Be very, very cool. And if you're in your podcast app or on iTunes and gave an honest rating and review, that would absolutely rock. You absolutely rock. Anyway, I hope you have yourself a great week. That's all I have for this week. And remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week.